Should the CCP take over and govern New Zealand? By CCP, I don't mean anything to do with the first arrivals in New Zealand, the indigenous Chinese settlers. I mean, of course, does New Zealand need a new political party called the Colonisers' Conservative Party, CCP, who will put Kiwis first and not racism first? Maybe one country with one people, one law, one vote and one flag. Or is that too intelligent? New Zealand is fast becoming an international laughingstock because far too much emphasis is placed on racism, mythology, superstition, and woke DEI nonsensical ideology, rather than on skills, ability, and merit. This latter novel idea is called using your brain's intelligence. There's nothing to be gained by propelling people involuntarily back into the Stone Age, but there's everything to lose. Mainly hard-working, skilled Kiwis fleeing the country in droves, taking up much better opportunities overseas. Rather than teaching and following absurdities to appease a low IQ minority at the expense of the vast majority of the country, why not openly address the brain drain problem and tell the truth about the real data, the real evidence, the real facts and reality as follows? Let's start with your brain, because IQ is a policymaker's best friend. And please note that my comments are not racist or intended to be racist. They are just facts. Facts don't have feelings and they are also not racist. Okay, let's go. The human brain's primary purpose is to control and coordinate all bodily functions, enable thinking, feeling, and create the essence of being human. The brain acts as a central command center, receiving sensory information, processing it, and generating responses that allow us to interact with the world and experience life. Your brain is a sophisticated biological computer, but not all brains are the same. Some are more intelligent than others, which is something that money or education cannot change. The prefrontal cortex acts as a control center for various important functions, such as your behavior, taking information from various areas of the brain to control your actions, regulate emotions, and adapt to changing circumstances. The prefrontal cortex is critical for higher level cognitive functions, including your decision making, planning, and expressing your personality. Not too hard to understand why people behave and act so differently. This is a graph that shows New Zealand's population IQ frequency distributions. Maori Pacifica distribution of the darker graph to the left, and the European Asian distribution, the lighter coloured grey, to the right. They overlap, and that shows an area where many Kiwis' IQ levels are similar in that particular area, ranging from around 85 to 110. Intelligence is described as the ability to reason, the ability to perform complex tasks within a given time frame, and we're all different. IQ is a function of biology and hereditary genetics and cannot be changed by any conventional means such as money, education, counselling, rehabilitation, employment, or possessions. IQ is, however, rarely talked about by politicians, which sadly reflects their inability to represent society and make New Zealand a better place for all Kiwis. And, note well, in no way can IQ be changed with political interference. The best way to handle people's differing intelligence is to be honest and open about the subject and plan accordingly. Well, this is just a picture of the brain, sort of showing running from intellectually deficient to genius, with Asian, European and other in this grouping, Pacifica and Maori in this grouping, and you can have a little look to see where you think you fit. Similar graph just showing the famous bell curve, and we've got on the low end we've got Maori and Pacifica, and in the upper end we have other European and Asian, and the bulk of people fall in this part in the middle. Good old Einstein, exceptionally gifted, up in the 160 plus. Not many in New Zealand in that group, I don't think. This table is quite interesting. It sort of summarises what we all know. Life's chances are pretty dismal when you're at the low IQ end, around the 70 mark, and gets better as you get up to smart IQ 130. It's yours to lose. Training is extensive here at the low end. It's you need to be supervised. It's not many people get jobs in that group, and it gets improved as you get on, and right up to the smart end where you can gather your own information, do your own thing. Career potentials are practically zero for those at the low end of town, and getting better as you get smarter. You can have a look, see where you think you fit in. Maybe you think your IQ is higher than it is and you should be in a better job, or vice versa. Again, this table shows us what we all know. At the low end of town, people are out of the labour force more than 1 month out of the year, unemployed more than a month, divorced earlier, tend to have illegitimate children, lives in poverty, forever in jail, chronic welfare recipient, and high school dropout, going all the way up to higher IQ, and those figures get less and less and less. These are facts, these are things that happen, we all know this, and throwing money at it, or giving them more dime houses, or you name it, government policies from Labour, Greens into Party Māori, will not fix these problems. You cannot fix IQ by throwing policies at people. This chart basically summarizes as your IQ falls, you tend towards poverty, homelessness, unemployment, handout dependency, violence, and incarceration. It just gets worse as your IQ gets worse. And this is the opposite. It gets better as your IQ gets better. Productivity goes up, job opportunities, conscientiousness is better, standard of living is better, success overall in life is better. So it's good to have a high IQ in today's complex world, but we don't all have high IQs. So there has to be another way of looking after people. And of course, New Zealand is losing a lot of people at the moment, and they tend to be people leaving with skills and abilities. The higher IQ people are leaving because of the mess that's been created in New Zealand, caused by racism and policies like that, as well as economic factors. But racism is just destructive. You have to look at a better way if you want to keep the people, as well as the economy. And Labour, Greens into Party Māori basically think if you throw money at the problem, it will fix it. Warm, dry houses and all this sort of stuff. It's absolute rubbish. Hipkins is known for saying what's good for Māori is good for everyone else. Rubbish. What's good for the IQ level is good for that particular IQ group. That's what policymakers need to look at. In a nutshell again, IQ is a policymaker's best friend. It's long before time to get rid of all racist legislation and start using IQ to formulate policy. A suggested approach is shown below, but there are many more policy ideas possible, including a cross-industry pay equity analysis being much easier and so forth. 1. Make IQ testing compulsory as early as possible. 2. Automatically feedback IQ ratings to a register. This would provide early warning signs of need and characteristic traits for fine-tuning policy development. 4. Stop developing funding policies based on race or ethnicity needs, which is racism. 5. Start developing funding policies based on the needs of IQ groups. Suggested initial IQ groups would be low, medium, and high IQ. Obviously, this would cater for any ethnicity in need of extra attention, not just Maori. The end result will reduce racism and violent crimes, increase happiness and productivity, because clearly a European Asian could be in all IQ groups, as Maori Pacifica could also be in all groups. This will avoid stigmatizing any particular race ethnicity group, save the country billions of dollars over the years, and make New Zealand one of the best places in the world to live in. Thank you for listening. WhangāreiTim.